up with your dad, man, Nick? You gotta talk about it, bro. Your pops out here lacking, bro. And I'm not talking about the one that likes too short either. You're a real daddy. You're a route daddy.
Yeah, so let's speak on it, bro. Antonio Brown had a major incident in the Buccaneers Week 17 game versus the Jets in the third quarter of the game. Everybody saw the clip, him taking his pads off, running back to the locker room when the Bucks were down 24-10. So, I think it's a lot of context that needs to go into this, but I'm gonna speak first. I think the media really messed the situation up for AB because if you look at it, you see the clips of him running off the field and all of that stuff first, and then people start to speculate about what's going on before actually knowing what's going on. And then you hear Bruce Arians' side of the story, and you don't hear AB's side of the story till a couple of days later. And once you hear all the pieces, the truth lies somewhere in between. So what do y'all think about the situation as a whole before we really get into it?
At this point, fairly, unfairly, I tend to lean more fairly because, as a black man, you gotta realize you don't get that many opportunities, regardless of how talented you are. Just some of the things that AB's been accused of, talking about sexual assault, we're talking about multiple acts of violence against people that he apparently does not know, doesn't have a personal relationship with. Like some of the things are inexcusable, man, especially as a grown man with a reputation to protect. Definitely something that is a very concerning pattern of behavior. But if you just want to isolate this particular incident, yes, he went on full sin. Obviously, we don't advertise other podcasts, but it was cool to see him go on another podcast less than what 96 hours after this incident happened. So that's a pretty cool behind the scenes type of thing. But this to isolate, like you said, this one incident. Okay, seemed like there was some sort of miscommunication between him and Bruce Arians, the medical staff, and his availability for the game. That can be acknowledged. Does it appear like they tried to put him in the game while he was hurt or unable to play? Also true. But regardless of how he felt about it, his response to the situation was completely inappropriate. Somebody that has struggled with anger, has struggled with having the appropriate reaction myself. There's a time and a place for everything. He could have stormed off at halftime, could have stormed off in the locker room, could have did everything that he wanted to do outside of the public eye. He could have went to halftime and said, "I'm not coming back," and they probably would have said he had like a toe contusion or something stupid like that. It could have been handled a lot better than the way it did. But for him to be considered a quote unquote grown man and to throw a temper tantrum on the sideline and decide right then and there, like, not only am I gonna not play this game, probably gonna throw away the rest of my, professional football career. Very short-sighted, very immature, and seems like almost like a call for help. And a lot of people have been saying this, and I think it's important. My Sports 56 on their personality, and my friend Gabe Cool said this very well. We have never stopped to consider. We have certain problematic guys like a AB, like a Josh Gordon, other either going to other sports like a Josh Hamilton in baseball. I know it's an old reference, but we never stop and question: is this sport good for these guys? All we see is the level of talent that they have, the ability they have in a certain sport, and we try to find a way to seemingly keep putting square pegs in round holes, and it is what it is. This is still a business at the end of the day. People have to make money, but I think that with the rise of mental health awareness and things like that, this will be very interesting to see how this AB situation plays out from here because I want to see what you have to say, Nick. But I don't know. I'll find it very hard for a team to commit to him again long term for a whole season. A lot of people are saying he'll get picked up for the playoffs. I don't see that outside of the realm of possibility as somebody.
His ankle has bone fragments in it.
He getting surgery January 18th, so that's out the window.
Okay, well that's still that makes it even more blurry. Somebody that's a surgery, you said bone fragments, so that probably put him out what 6 to 12 weeks probably
somewhere around there.
So that puts him in. Right now it's January, so that puts him in March before he can really come back and do anything. So that's what OTAs. That's kind of, I guess, right around the time we start developing your teams. And, I don't nobody denying AB's, ability. Best receiver in the game for an extended amount of time. Hall of Famer, he could shoot somebody tomorrow and still be a Hall of Famer. But the antics.
You think he's still getting the Hall of Fame?
Gold
Yes.
jacket.
Yes, he got to, bro.
He's
what I say. I
do
not like how Antonio Brown plays. And for me, your main guy should never be under like 6'1", 6'2", just because of the jump ball and things like that. But I can never shut up, Nick. You can never question his ability to be open. That's one thing you cannot ever question.
All right, but let's just say the gold jacket people do not like prima donnas, bro.
That's true.
But I ain't gonna lie though.
Is T.O. even in there yet?
Yeah, he made it 2 years ago.
Yeah, but T.O. was in there, But I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think
they're gonna do him dirty. They're gonna make him wait.
Nah, bro, his stats are too good, bro. His stats are too good. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, T.O. was third.
I mean, his stats are better than T.O.'s, huh?
No, T.O. is third all time in receiving yards. AB not in that stratosphere yet, but his stats do speak for themselves, and that's why I think he gets a Hall of Fame. But you can continue. He's not up there with T.O. in terms of stats, but in terms of continued greatness, he's up there.
That's what I'm like. They'll probably do him bad the first time, but that's what I'm saying. Like you just said, at receiver too. It's kind of it takes a special type of guy to really be impactful down and down at receiver, and for AB to do that at his size and his. He's not the guy that's just going to run by you either. Like, I always kind of have respect for that dude for his ability to get open. He's like kind of like Chris Paul. Not the most athletically gifted, but he just finds a way to get it done at an elite level. So I definitely think that Hall of Fame, I would say second, probably not first ballot, but at least second or third. But I guess I've been rambling a little bit. I just really find it hard to see another team like, yeah, we're going to sign up for Antonio Brown. Like, what? You sound stupid. If Tom Brady couldn't make it work, what makes you think you can make it work,
Jerry Jones would do it.
I'm going to keep it a stack, bro. I'm going to jump in right here. I think if you look at the situation, I think Bruce Arians and that Tampa Bay coaching staff is more at fault than Antonio Brown is. Because if you look at Antonio Brown's statement, he says that the coaches told him to go in. He told them, I'm too hurt to play. He has all these ankle injuries going on. He told them before the game, he posted the screenshots of the text, him getting treatment, him letting Bruce Arians know, hey, I'm going to give it a try, but I'm still injured. I'm not going to be like 100%. I'm going to give it a go, though. But, I'm probably not going to be able to play the whole game or whatever. And so, of course, they give him the drugs, all of that, painkillers. He didn't want to do that, which is understandable. So my thing is, like I said, they come to him on the sideline, tell him go in. He tells them he's too hurt. He can't go. They tell him, you're done, you're cut, do the whole, the finger across the throat motion. So if I'm a guy, I'm a grown man in that situation. If somebody tells me that, I'm okay. If you telling me I'm done, I'm out. Of course, you don't have to make a spectacle of it. You're right. You don't have to make a spectacle.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dog,
but also, you deserve to be respected as a man. If a grown man comes up to you and does this, like, that's disrespectful.
Who did that? They did that on the sideline.
That's what his statement said. Yeah, Bruce Arians said.
So did anybody have any video of Bruce Arians doing that to him?
Bro, they didn't start recording until he started taking his stuff off. That's why I'm saying the media messed this whole situation up by making it look like it was Antonio Brown going crazy instead of like letting the whole story come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the media really messed this situation up by showing the video first, and then people start speculating, oh, AB's crazy, AB's this, AB's that.
AB is crazy. He just
but this situation isn't him necessarily being crazy or out of hand. Yes, the reaction could have been different in retrospect. But also, I'm a grown man. I don't want to be disrespected like that. You tell me I'm done and I'm cut. Why do I still need to be on the sideline wearing your jersey and being on the team? If you tell me to my face I'm done and I'm cut.
You don't think he wanted to be out there? He was what, like 5 catches, a touchdown?
He had
$1 million? Like,
exactly. And he had 3 catches for 24 yards up to that point. So, of course, Antonio Brown wanted to be on the team. He loves Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the guy who got him back in the league with New England and with Tampa Bay. And to your point about if AB's playing career is done or is not, any quarterback who has a relationship with AB and likes AB, they're going to be able to get him in the door for their said team. Because quarterbacks run the NFL, and if you're a star quarterback, a franchise quarterback, a la Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. If Lamar says, I want AB, guess what that front office is going to do? Call AB's phone. You healthy? Come play.
If I'm Pat Mahomes, I'm Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Ryan Tannehill, I'm picking up the phone, seeing what he's trying to do.
Exactly. Because the talent can't be denied, bro.
I'm picking up
the talent can never be denied, bro. And I mean, you want to focus on this one particular situation. Yes, maybe there was a misconstrued. His perspective was misconstrued, and he wasn't painted in the most positive light of things like that. But there's a reason why he was available at the end of last year for the Super Bowl run. There's a reason why now there's so much hesitancy in terms of picking him up and what's his future. This is a pattern of behavior. This is not a one-off incident.
This is not a pattern. This is not a pattern of behavior. Because
yes, it is. He actually irrational, Nick. That's a pattern of behavior.
No, think. When he was with the Patriots, he played a game and he got cut not because of something he did. It was because of an accusation made against him. And said accusation, I'm not going to get into it, but the charges were eventually dropped in that accusation. The Patriots let him go because the accusation was made.
Bro,
and that was the holdup in terms of him. That was the holdup in terms of him getting back in the league. Once the charges were dropped, Tampa Bay came around and said, "Okay, we want you."
All right, Nick.
Who's your favorite team, Josh? The Jets. Would you want Antonio Brown on the Jets?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
then.
I would, but that does not mean I was. His contract with the Jets was going to be the same way it was incentivized and copied in the same way the Tampa Bay had it. The more you play,
that's another problem. That's another problem.
Why is that a problem?
Because you watch the Full Send podcast, right?
I'm part of it, not all of them.
So basically, in that podcast, Antonio Brown said Tom Brady is only friends with me because I'm good at football. He said, look at the difference between the contract Gronk got and the contract I got to play in Tampa Bay. You look at the contract Gronk got, dude hadn't played football in 2 years. 1 year, $10 million. Base salary of $8 million. Antonio Brown just played a game in the previous season, played more recently than Gronk. 1 year, $3.1 million guaranteed. The rest is all incentives.
Guess what, Nick? I'm gonna kill your whole argument right here. Antonio Brown is black. Rob Gronkowski is white.
But Gronkowski is also a tight end, and wide receivers have more positional value in terms of standard contract than a tight end does.
Especially AB on that team.
Okay, what are we trying to argue here? Like, what are we trying to?
I'm just showing you the fact that AB didn't get his fair share of the pie in Tampa Bay. He was their best. What? Without AB, that Super Bowl looks totally different. He was the best receiver in that game for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, they had no shot at winning the Super Bowl this year without Antonio Brown. Okay. They had a slim light, a very dim light.
Alcohol in the something? Like maybe I'm tripping. I don't know.
You think the Bucs can still win the Super Bowl without?
No, keep in mind, Godwin is done for the year. Right now, you're going in with Mike Evans.
They got Mike
Evans coming back at some point. They got one of the best lines in the league.
He's not gonna be 100%. Ronald Jones.
They got everything.
Running the ball. Le'Veon Bell gonna carry them to the Super Bowl.
They got everything they had last year, minus AB.
Minus AB, minus Chris Godwin.
Yes, that's it.
A healthy Leonard Fournette. They carried them. They look like a top 5.
Bro, y'all not gonna. Y'all can sit and keep talking and wasting y'all breath. I like Antonio Brown a lot. He's a very talented player, but you're not going to convince me he doesn't not act irrationally. He can be trusted.
But we're talking about this situation right here, and this situation, in my opinion, is not that irrational.
Nick, you even said, okay.
I said he could have handled it better.
That was an irrational reaction. That's irrational.
What's irrational is to go to a grown man, slit your throat, and tell him you're cut.
Oh my gosh!
Nick. In the middle of a game, you're cutting a player. When has that ever happened?
That has happened here at my school. People didn't show up to practice. Didn't show up to workouts.
If you tell a player he's cut in the middle of a game, what happened? What happened?
He doesn't take off his shoulder pads for everybody to see. He goes to the locker room, he talks to his position coach, and he leaves.
In the middle of the game, the position coach met him in the locker room to talk. In the middle of the game.
Come talk to me. Come talk.
In the middle of the game.
Come talk. Yes, in like third quarter. Come talk to me, son.
Okay, but that's not what happened in the AD situation. They didn't say, "Hey, come to the locker room. Let's talk about your injury. Let's see what we can get you to do."
Jets, bro, they didn't really have the time.
Exactly,
bro. They were struggling in a hard-fought game, dog.
Y'all still lost, so don't get too cocky.
Like, bro, here's the thing. Like I said, like I don't think anybody, I do not like Antonio Brown's play style. All this, I mean, Nick probably likes it because he's similar in how he plays, but Like I said, for me, I want my top receiver to be 6'2", 6'.
Bro, shut up. Are you insane? AB got the same respect Megatron did.
Bro, I'm not
talking.
saying that he's not as good as any number one ever.
When AB was in Pittsburgh, anytime they crossed the 20-yard line, got to the red zone, 2 corners sitting right in front of him. What are you talking about? That's the same thing they did to Megatron.
I do not. AB is, like I said, I do not like him as my number one receiver. Stop trying to tell me my perspective is wrong. I already told you he was one of the best receivers of all time in this league. But you kids can't keep sitting here and saying he's not irrational as hell. And the stuff that he does not only on the field, off the field affects the kind of contracts he gets, the amount of time he touches the ball, and what kind of teams want to sign him. Like, I'm not disrespecting Antonio Brown. I like Antonio Brown's play. Like I said, if he was available for the Jets right now, I would hope we sign him. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't want his contract to be incentive-based. I wouldn't want him to be monitored. I wouldn't want him to have certain protocols in place to make sure he's as successful as possible. Because guess what? He has shown he cannot handle being treated like a normal athlete, like a normal person. So make whatever protocols they had to be in place need to be put in place for him to be successful. And obviously, he's flown through plenty of stop signs. And so, what are we talking about here?
Even his stops in Vegas when he was with the Raiders, all of that was justifiable.
How do you have a coach? How do you film you and your coach talking and then releasing you? Regardless of how you feel about him, what kind of look does that provide? Why do people look at you as a person?
All right, first of all, listen.
His coach was John Gruden.
John Gruden is racist.
Bro.
So
John Gruden was the only racist coach in the NFL?
The Patriots were just scary. John Gruden was racist. Mike and our haters.
Y'all like this is a grown ass man. Stop making excuses for him.
I'm not making excuses.
Yes, y'all are. John Gruden was racist. Mike Tomlin can't handle him. Bro.
Mike Tomlin did the shadiest thing possible to Antonio Brown. He gave the Offensive Player of the Year to Juju Smith-Schuster, and we've seen what Juju Smith-Schuster has done since AB left Pittsburgh.
Okay. Has he even got 1,000 yards since
No, he has not. He hasn't sniffed 800, Vance. He has not seen 800 yards in the season since AB left.
Bro, Antonio Brown, one of the most talented receivers to ever play this game. But he is not, in terms of one of the people, horrible person. Well, I don't know his character like shown time and time again, there are certain be trusted. That's all I'm saying, bro. There's nothing against his personality, nothing against him playing football, nothing against how y'all say people have handled him because black men, just not athletes, are often mishandled in the public eye. But he's had more than one opportunity, especially how talented he is, to get it right. For people to be like, oh, okay, I can excuse that. And this is just another opportunity. This is another example of him blowing said opportunity. So, like,
Bro, if they told him he was cut on the sideline, the opportunity was blown before he ran off the field. That's what the part you're not understanding. He was not on the team when he ran off the field.
I'm not going to keep wasting my breath and arguing. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. So none of these situations, Antonio Brown was wrong. He had no accountability. He's like, what are you talking about?
I'm not saying.
You want him to stand there?
Exactly.
Just stand there.
Bro,
he's not on the team anymore. He's just supposed to stand there in the Tampa Bay jersey, smile and wave.
He's handled that situation exactly the right way. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Other players that have left before. Who was that? Vaughn Davis? Somebody quit the game.
But guess what Vontae Davis did? Left at halftime. Not in front of everybody to see.
It was the third quarter. You want me to sit there for the end of a game? I'm not about to sit there.
I'm going home. I'm catching
I would have did exactly what AB did. He went to the Brooklyn game the next night.
I don't understand what the argument is. I don't understand what y'all are walking me down for. Like, I'm not the only person saying this. The whole NFL says this. And it's not nobody disrespecting Antonio Brown is a fact. He has had multiple situations where he was set up to succeed and he did not succeed. There's no getting around that fact.
I would say he was pretty successful in Tampa Bay, if you ask me.
Me too.
I mean, he could have
successful in Pittsburgh
and New England, even though he only played one game, he had a tutty.
Okay. First of all, whatever. How do you be successful if you only play one game? But think about what he could have done.
Show up, you put your pads on, you go out on the field, and you produce. That's success.
All right, bro. My means at 2:30, bro. I don't know why we spent all this time arguing about Antonio Brown. Nobody dislikes Antonio Brown. Nobody doesn't think he's one of the greatest receivers ever. But I'm not like he's a grown man that needs to be held accountable. Like, It's okay to like if he's your guy, he's your guy. That's okay. But he's not right in all of these situations. Like that's also a fact. We can acknowledge that too. That there was some mishandling of him by coaches, organizations, things like that. But there were also things that Antonio Brown put himself in less than ideal situations for these organizations to make tough decisions. Like it's not. They can both be true.
Okay, so before we end the segment, let me ask you something. You can't play in a game. You're injured. You tell your coach you can't go in. Your coach tells you you're cut. What is the appropriate way to react to that situation?
It's third quarter. You can't go in at halftime.
Go to the locker room. Go to the locker room.
That's what he did.
I'm going to the locker room.
That's what he did.
Well, nobody can record me, but I'm going to the locker room. My stuff is probably else. Like, go to the locker room, dog.
That's what he did.
No, he didn't. He stripped in front of everybody and made it.
He just took his pads off.
I mean, I guess
they got their pads and give it to fans all the time. Like they don't get their jerseys to fans all the time.
Attitude, but I'm sorry, dog. Like as amazing as Antonio Brown is right now, he could probably have doubled the career if he really wanted to. He just was a lame ass Russell Wilson type dude. So like, what do we really?
I agree. I 100%.
I don't understand what's all pushback for. Nobody like. There's cause and balances of both ability in this. Like you said, he was charged with that. Was not the only crime he was ever charged with. You're talking about the sexual misconduct. There's other things that Antonio Brown has had to deal with legally with NFL. He just got in trouble with a fake vaccination card a couple weeks ago.
He wasn't the only one. Like Aaron Rodgers did it, but the response wasn't the same to Aaron Rodgers.
Guess what? Aaron Rodgers is white. Aaron Rodgers is white, Nick.
Like, I mean, but it's the same thing, bro. You can't treat Antonio Brown differently because he's this way than you treat Aaron Rodgers because he's something else. It's the same. They made the same mistake, and the reaction to that mistake was very different.